Hello, whiskey friends. This is Garen from Whiskey Savages, welcoming you back to our second official video. To start off, just a quick thank you to everybody that watched the first video, that shared it, that commented. Thank you to the people that subscribed. For our first video, which was basically kind of like a test run, we ended up with just a little over 180 views. My goal was 100 views, so 180, that's a huge win. 20 subscribers, which is great for something that was kind of just testing the waters for what we were doing. So we just want to say thank you for everybody, and thank you everybody for your feedback. You might notice we've made some adjustments. We're upgrading the audio. So we got a lapel mic from locally from the computer shop here in Bracebridge, so thank you for that. And then we have some soft boxes to be leveling out the light a little bit. So that definitely helps. That was provided by Arts and Crafts Brews. His name is Josh, the same person that edited the first video, put all that together, created a thumbnail. So really good friend, super talented guy, has been a part of basically every whiskey event that we've done from the very beginning. So I thought he did a fantastic job on that. So we just want to say thank you to everybody for that. And yeah, keep subscribing, follow, like these videos. We really appreciate that. Also, if there's any sort of content that you want to see in the future about specific bottles, regions, distilleries, food, glassware, whatever it might be, anything you think that might help us with the production values of what we're doing, we're always open to some sort of constructive criticism or suggestions, so feel free to do that as well. So let's get into our second video. I was looking forward to this one. This was a bottle that I enjoyed. What we're looking at today is this GlenAllachie. So it's a GlenAllachie 10-year-old cask strength batch 7. Beautiful color on this, bottled at a 56.8% ABV. Of course, being in Ontario, I was not able to get this locally because the LCBO for us is an absolute trash organization, terrible selection, terrible prices. So I got this as part of a group buy from out west from BSW. This is my first bottle and my first experience with the distillery GlenAllachie. So they've been releasing these batches. They're up to batch 10 now if you look at GlenAllachie online. And so this is batch 7. It's kind of interesting. Before I do a bottle, even before I buy a bottle, I look at people's kind of feedback on what they thought about it. And it's funny, this batch 7 is widely viewed as one of the worst of these releases from GlenAllachie of the 10-year-old cask strength. I'm not really sure why. I really like this. Batch 8 and 9 are bottled at a lower ABV. I don't know if it's going to make that much of a difference because it's only about 1%, but this one widely viewed as one of the worst. I watched a review of another local group called Whiskey in the Six. They're based out of Toronto, and they just bagged on this one pretty hard. So to start off, on the smell of it, I really like this. For something that's bottled at such a high percentage of alcohol, you would almost think that it would just ravage like your sinuses, your nose, your eyes should be watering like crazy, but it doesn't do that for me. Like there's a little bit of heat there from the alcohol, but you're getting tons of like dark fruit. That's coming from the cask that it's finished in. So this has been finished in sherry cask, so Pedro Hermenez cask, Oloroso cask, Rioja casks. So if you speak Spanish, you are welcome for what I just put out there on the internet. But because of that, you're getting a ton of these like dark fruits. So cherries, plums, dates, grapes. So you're getting a ton of that up front. A little bit of chocolate, and a little bit of kind of like the woodiness from the cask, but But it's nice. I find it really nice on the nose. Yeah. So this is where the alcohol content comes in. Yeah, you really taste the alcohol now. Like that, it's hot, but not overwhelmingly hot or enough to make you feel uncomfortable. On the taste, this is where you're getting more spicy stuff. So peppers, almost like nutmeg, cinnamon, like those chai spices. I'm a huge fan of anything peppery, dry. This has a nice dry flavor. There's a little bit of sweet, but there's quite a bit of heat along with those spices, but you're still getting some of those fruits. You're getting the dark cherry, you're getting the plum, you're getting the grapes or those raisin types of flavors still. And it coats your mouth in a nice way. My big issue with the worst whiskey that I ever had in the previous video was it was super thin. It just disappeared right off your palate, which was good because it was terrible. But this, it lingers nice. It almost reminds me of, it has like those aspects of a spicy hot chocolate or like spicy chocolate bark that has a little bit of, cayenne or chili flakes. There's a little bit of coffee, like you'd think of almost having like a dessert coffee that they put a little bit of alcohol in, they spice it up a bit, they set it on fire. Smelling it and having it in your mouth at the same time, it really kind of elevates it. All the reviews that I looked at said that adding a tiny little bit of water really amped up the alcohol content. So I'm gonna try that a little bit. You don't get it on the nose. The alcohol isn't super apparent, but those kind of sweet flavors are now, for me, from the sherry, like way at the forefront. So the fruits, the chocolates, that's kind of at the front now, whereas any sort of kind of like woodiness, that's kind of disappears, I find, with adding water. Not just this one, but for me, most single malts. Oof. Yeah, that is, it's a little bit more of the alcohol. Oh man. But I kind of like that. I kind of like that burny-ish feeling without sweet. When you drink something, a different type of alcohol, but it's sweet and hot. This is, I find, really comforting and warm because now I can taste more of those spices that I like chai spices, like the nutmeg, the cinnamon. Now I can taste way more of that. A little bit more of the kind of like spicy hot chocolate flavor I find here. The pepper for me is amazing with a little bit of water. The thing I really liked about this specific whiskey, some people want something a little bit more complex. I found when I tasted it right off the hop, you knew exactly what you were tasting. Like you didn't wait and it didn't change a little bit. I had this bottle open for a couple months. It hasn't changed very much. You taste it, you know exactly what you're getting, exactly what the flavors are gonna be, exactly what the smell is. It doesn't change and you can kind of pin them like right from the beginning. So I really like that. It's uncomplicated in that way. This would be super nice after a meal, sitting around a fire, like that type of drink. Nice, warm, comforting. It's gonna heat you up from the inside on a cold winter's day like we have here today. Something like that is gonna be really nice. So I really like this bottle. If I were to rank it, it would be somewhere around a 7 to a 7.5. Originally I paid $115 for this one out west. It's kind of funny now. I checked just before I came down here how people view these now. Batch 7 you can get on sale for around $99 now out west. Batch 9 you can get on sale for $99. Batch 8, which is the one that everybody seems to really like, is still full price, $125. Compared to if I were to try and get that locally, it's gonna be around $133. One of the few times the LCBO has been competitive with anywhere else where we get this. So like I would rank it, if you can get it around $99 for me, that's great. That's a great value. Like I would think of the three ways I think of recommending a whiskey to anybody. It's availability, affordability, and drinkability. So it is available. You can get this whether it's locally out west. For the price point, anything under $100, especially with the way things are now and how expensive things are getting, to me that's value. And then for drinkability, it has a ton of appeal. I found everybody that I've given this to liked it. It wasn't their absolute favorite, but everybody liked it. It doesn't sway too far to the sweet. It doesn't sway too far to the smoky. It's kind of right in the middle there, and a nice introductory drink for like a cask strength, something that's going to be a little bit stronger. A really nice Speyside. I really like the distillery. Everything I've had since this bottle has been really good. So GlenAllachie 10-year cask strength, batch 7. I'd recommend it right around a 7, 7.5. So you can find it, buy it, share it. And that's our second video. So thank you for watching. Look forward to our next few videos. What we're going to do is review some of the best bottles of 2023 that we've had personally. We haven't gone out and bought every release from a bunch of these different distilleries. These are just 3 bottles that we had that really stood out over the last 12 months of 2023. So that's where we're gonna be starting with our next video, so watch out for that one. So like, share, subscribe, find us on Instagram, Whiskey Savages. Leave us some feedback, we'd really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.